9mm, and I've got some great products to show you today, something I've never done before. I've always kind of had an aversion to doing product reviews and comparing one supplier or one manufacturer to another. But I believe that this warrants that today. And let me just get this straight right off the bat, that I don't have anything against anybody's product. I don't think there's anybody who, the two companies I'm going to show you today that I'm going to compare side by side, I don't think either one of them is a bad product per se. I believe there is definitely one, in my opinion, that is better than another, and but that's just my opinion. So please, to keep that in mind when you look at this. Nothing here. This isn't a scientific test. This is just my opinion and my observations. So when I look at these holsters, just know what you're getting yourself into here. So nobody is offended or whatever. This is just Charles 9mm's opinion about these things, and you can take them for what it's worth. I have been in the science of quality for 26 years. And so I think I do have a little bit of an ability to look at product and kind of determine some aspect of the quality of the manufacturing, since I've been doing for a living for over a quarter of a century. Also, as a user, I've been carrying a concealed handgun legally with a permit from my state since 1997. So I've been carrying one a long time, and I've had a little bit of training here and there. I'm certainly not military expert. I'm not a commando or black ops or whatever tactical special ops SEAL guy. Not at all. I'm just a guy who understands manufacturing and has carried a firearm for a long time. The two companies I'm going to be looking at today are Crossbreed holsters and Concealment Solutions, and their product is very similar, and that's why it really needs to be looked at side by side. I'm going to be looking at their inside the waistband holsters and their outside the waistband holsters, and these are all for a Glock 9mm. They'll work for a Glock 26, 19, and a 17, the regular size, the compact, and the subcompact. Today, for safety's sake, I'm going to use one of these blue guns. It's made by Rings. It's just a solid piece of blue plastic. It doesn't even have a hole in the barrel, and it's very safe, and it's used for training. I highly recommend Rings blue guns if you do any kind of training where safety is a concern. You're not going to be on a range. You want to draw your pistol over and over again. The cost of one of these, it just far outweighs its value in terms of safety. You can never be too safe. But I'm going to use that today because it's an exact same configuration as a Glock 19, which I often carry a Glock 19. So without any more of my boring verbiage, let's get on with the comparison. Now, like I said before, these are both very nice holsters. I'm going to switch these around a little bit here. First of all, we're going to look at the in the pants holster. And these hybrid holsters, and what I mean by hybrid is they use a leather back and a Kydex body. So the body, the holster part that actually retains the firearm is made out of Kydex, which is a formable plastic. Kydex is relatively new. It's been out probably about, I think it's been out 20 years, something like that. But in the type of applications that we've seen, Kydex has been using more and more. One is it has a certain amount of tensile strength, so it will spring back, and also you can easily form it. In fact, you can form it in a toaster oven with a hot air gun or in your stove. So it's inexpensive to manufacture this form because you buy a sheet of it, you heat it up, slap it over into your form, over that form, and you let it dry, drill your holes, and you're ready to go. That's probably an oversimplification because there's a lot of buffing and forming and so forth and getting it just right. But as far as manufacturing goes, it makes it inexpensive and produces a very high quality product. Now, these hybrids, the reason that they use the leather is very formable to your body, and it forms around your body very nicely. It has all of the characteristics that Kydex does not have, including a little elasticity and still is rigid. It also break in and become softer over time. And the nice thing about that is that worn tight against the body, it holds the Kydex in place, keeps it extremely tight. You can see both of these have the clips to the far ends, far away from the holster, which even reduces the amount of volume, and there's enough volume already with a Glock against your body, so you get this good, nice, tight, and stable platform to keep the gun in. So you don't get a rocking back and forth, keeps it nice and tight against the body, and has this beautiful, very thin, without a bunch of clips and stuff, Kydex holster system. So that's what it's a hybrid. So without any more explanation, let's move on. The two I'm looking at today is the Black Mamba by Concealment Solutions, and the Crossbreed holsters. This is there in the pants holster. Very, very similar. Big metal clips, Kydex body, leather bag. Now, let's start looking at what are the differences between the two. Now, right off the bat, you can see that there is the Crossbreed has this big fin in top. Some people like that. I personally do not. I don't like this piece of leather because it kind of sticks me in the side. Maybe I need to lose some weight. I didn't find this to be terribly comfortable. Some people like it because they use it as a sweat shield. I found that compared to a lot of holsters that I have, the Crossbreed was a big step up. So the Crossbreed was an excellent holster in terms of form and comparative. I found this to be in the Concealment Solutions Black Mamba. I found this form of the leather here to be much better, and it is all the leather that I really needed. The gun stops here. Everything above this was just leather sticking up. The other thing I found was, if you can see, Concealment Solutions finishes the back of the leather so it's nice and smooth. The Crossbreed does not. This is a raw leather. Some people like this because they said that gives you a nice some friction. I did not like this. I found it to be to soak up with sweat while this was sealed on the Concealment Solutions. The Concealment Solutions was a lot more sweat resistant. I also found that this would shed, like kind of like a dandruff would come off of this that I didn't like. The little yellowy tan colored dandruff would come off this raw leather. I found it to be kind of dry. I guess you could fix that with some neat's foot oil or something like that, but for similar priced leather, this is a much higher grade of leather. It seems to be much more flexible. It's sealed. It has more of a waxy feel to it, which I liked. It didn't squeak. The Crossbreed was squeaking like crazy, but I guess that breaks in as well. They're also a little bit different in the configuration here. You can easily see the rivets. There are 4 rivets that hold the holster in place on the Concealment Solutions. There are 3. And you also can see that there's a lot less Kydex on the Crossbreed, where the Concealment Solutions, this gives you a very nice extension here, which holds the pistol better in place. And that seemed to be a lot nicer situation, and kept when I wanted to reholster, it really gave me a little more of a scoop there to get it back in. This was cut flat across on the Crossbreed, and I wasn't quite as impressed with this. Good holster, similar money. Again, the Concealment Solutions, in my personal opinion, won that one as well. Let's also look at the hardware here for a second. The hardware, which is kind of hard to film because it's all black, is these big clips. Well, this clip material is much smoother and better quality material on the Concealment Solutions Black Mamba. A much better grade material. This was almost flimsy. There's sharp edges on it, and it's got a cross, if that's your thing, stamped into it. I found these little crosses that are put into it. It wasn't my deal. I found it to be a little bit cheesy. I didn't find it attractive. I found that, I don't know. what if you're selling it to Jewish people? You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, this, I mean, that's their emblem, that's their logo, that's cool, but I just think there's just, it's a little over the top in my opinion. I like a smooth clip here. I like this, the Concealment Solutions. They have polished this metal. There are no sharp edges like there are here. This is almost like a sharp tuna fish can on the Crossbreed holster. So I wasn't quite as impressed with that one as well. Now that's the outside the waist holster. Let's look at the inside the waist holsters and see if we see what we see. There's probably more difference between the two, the Crossbreed and Concealment Solutions. They're outside the holsters, outside the waist holsters, are much different. You can see the scoop gives you a little more of a funnel to same as their inside the waistband holsters. Much nicer for me. I was able to reholster much better with Jason Christensen's design in the Concealment Solutions holster. It's thicker kydex, which gave it a little more stability. And I noticed when I wore these holsters, the Crossbreed would lean out, and that's what I didn't want. I wanted it up tight against the body, but it would actually, let me put the pistol in it, would actually lean out like that. It would almost like come away from my body, and I wondered what the difference was. So I tried the Concealment Solutions. One is it locks in better. It's got a nicer channel, by the way. Both of them have a better channel for the front sight, so you can have a lot more variety in your front sights. But I wondered why this one didn't lean out. One, it's a thicker kydex, and it's a 2-ply. You can see it's stitched, whereas the Crossbreed, it's not. That's because they put horsehide on the inside. This is a double thick layer. You're getting twice the amount of leather in the Concealment Solutions than you are in the Crossbreed. And you can see, once again, this is finished and this is raw, so this gives off that dandruff. I didn't like it as much. In fact, that was a good holster, but for the money, my gosh, this was a far, far better quality, and yet they look so similar. Unless you saw the stitching and the cowhide on one side and the horsehide on the other, and the finished and the thicker kydex, which are really subtle differences, you would think they were exactly the same. The Crossbreed did not do well in this. I didn't like the Crossbreed, the snap holster, the outside the waist holster. I didn't like it. I thought it really floated forward. This one, the Concealment Solutions, worked very, very well, and it held close to the body, and it was easy to conceal and easy to reholster. So with that all said and a long explanation, I think as a side-by-side comparison, you'll have to make your own comparison, because like I said, this is all my opinion. You'll have to make your own opinion, but in a side-by-side comparison, the Concealment Solutions really won this test. And so a side-by-side comparison, I'm sorry, Crossbreed holsters, but Concealment Solutions, for the same price point, similar price point, had a superior product. And much better bang for the buck. I really like them. And holsters are a big deal to me. I live in a holster quite a bit, and so this was very important to make sure that that gun is held closely, comfortably, and safely. Thank you for watching this and letting me know what you think in the comments. And if you've had any experiences with these products, please let me know. And again, they're all good products. That was just my personal opinion. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.